The Adventures of Quillie the Hedgehog, written and illustrated by Jennifer Anto. Hello? Hello? Is anyone here? Mrs. Reed? Quillie remembered he was alone in the bookstore. He had so much fun today during the grand opening. He helped Mrs. Reed restock the shelves and sweep the floor after closing. The last thing Quillie remembered was curling up on the carpet and falling asleep. Now it's dark in the store and everything seems different. He hears trees moving in the breeze and smells fresh moss in the air. He sees a large wooded area surrounding him, but no one else is around. Squeak, squeak. Quillie's ears perked up quickly, and his quills rose in a crisscross pattern like they always do when he is scared. What was that sound? He whispered. Over here, squeaked the mice. Quillie crept over to the corner and found two mice standing in a hole nearby. They had stacks of books behind them, and one of them was holding a small, burning candle. Who are you? Quillie asked curiously. My name is Nibbles, stated the furry gray mouse. And this is my best friend, Pinky. We live here in Quilletopia. Quilletopia? Questioned Quillie. I must be dreaming, because I live with Mrs. Reed in Bookshire. No, you're not dreaming, squeaked Pinky. We are so excited to see you, though, because Quilletopia has not been open for a long time. Open? Questioned Quillie. I don't think I understand. Please come in and have a seat. What's your name? Nibbles asked softly. I'm sorry, I'm Quillie, he replied. Quillie entered the mouse's burrow and settled on a beautiful tree stump. Nibbles began. Quillie, you have magical quills that open Quilletopia. You are our new head night watcher. A long time ago, there was another hedgehog that lived here, and he created Quilletopia. Since we keep watch while the humans sleep, Mr. Prickles used his magical quills to create a land for us to enjoy. When Mr. Prickles left, our magical Quilletopia disappeared. We didn't think we would ever get to see it again. Quillie quickly realized what Pinky said. Wait, what do you mean I am the head night watcher? I've never been here before. I don't know anything about Quilletopia. Nibbles spoke up. Your magical quills make you in charge of the land. Quillie was a little nervous to find out that he was in charge of Quilletopia. He peeked out of the mouse hole to see the land. He looked out and saw the children's story section was covered in bright green grass and dewy moss that invited him to run around and play. The tree was filled with woodland fairies while garden gnomes were chasing each other around the base of the tree. Creatures of all kinds were playing in the grass. Quillie saw a large owl flying around, hooting at his neighbors. Quillie could not resist running out and playing. He met up with the garden gnomes and started to chase them around the tree. They kept hiding and jumping out to surprise him. One of the gnomes thought it was funny to scare Quillie and made his quills pop up everywhere. This is so much fun, Quillie said excitedly. Just as Quillie sat down to rest, a beautiful butterfly landed on his nose and tickled him. Achoo! Quillie giggled as the butterfly flew away. This place sure is magical, thought Quillie. He turned to Nibbles and Pinky with a curious look. If I am the head night watcher, what must I do? Do I get to wear a crown? Nibbles giggled and glanced at Pinky. Your job is pretty easy. You just help protect the store while Mrs. Reed is gone, and you must play with us here in Quilletopia. Quillie looked at Nibbles and Pinky curiously as they returned to the burrow. What did you mean when you said watch? Pinky laughed nervously. Nibbles just meant that sometimes some of our night watchers can get into trouble. It's nothing, Pinky said as he tried to hide the stack of books in their burrow. Quillie had a feeling that the mice were not being truthful. He wondered why Pinky was hiding the books from him. Why are you hiding? Quillie suddenly yawned and felt his eyes get heavy. I think it's time for me to go back to sleep, Quillie said while yawning again. Yes, said Nibbles. The sun is starting to rise and we all need some sleep. Don't worry, Quillie. You will see us again. Quillie slowly walked to a plush, mossy spot under the tree and fell asleep while thinking about everything he saw and heard. Ding, ding. Quillie woke up in a surprise. He looked around and found himself sleeping on the green rug in the bookstore under the tree. The sun was shining brightly through the windows. He looked around, but the grass and all the animals were gone. Quillie yawned and stretched, and then he saw Mrs. Reed walking through the door. Well, hello, Quillie. I hope I didn't wake you. Did you have a good first night in Bookshire? Time to get the store ready to open for another day, Mrs. Reed said joyfully. Quillie thought about his night. He did have a good night, but was he dreaming or was Quillatopia real? He remembered the mice talking about the night watchers causing trouble, and he wondered what kind of trouble they could get into. Quillie, called Mrs. Reed, we are missing a few of our fairy tale books. Do you know where they are? Uh-oh, thought Quillie. Are those the books Pinky was hiding? Well, whispered Quillie, I guess I'll have to find out when I see them again. But right now, I have a job to do in Bookshire.